When I say 2000 national championship, what's the first thought that comes to your mind?
Well, for me, it's some of the best times of my life. You know, it was a time where we put a lot of hard work and effort in and reaped a reward that was lasting. You know, even 25 years later, I'm still feeling the rewards of that.
Does it seem like 25 years, David?
I was going to say, the first thing that came to my mind is that's a long time ago. But no, it seems like yesterday, though, like Andre said, like all the grind, the hard work that our program, our team, our coaching staff put into it, it feels like it was just yesterday. And now, you know, hopefully this year, Coach Izzo and the squad can get back to it 25 years later.
Excuse me. I've been battling a cough. I'm hoping I'm through it now. What was the secret ingredient to that team?
This, you know, brotherhood, playing for each other. Every day in practice was a battle, and it wasn't just in 2000. It started 3-4 years earlier with, you know, Antonio Smith, Jason Klein. So it was a lead up to that final accomplishment in 2000. But it was a brotherhood. I mean, all of us really, pretty much all of us stay in touch to this day, which is kind of cool. It's just a testament to what we accomplished.
Yeah, that brotherhood still exists today, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Like David said, we get together on a yearly basis. It's not a 25-year thing with us. You know what I mean? Like we get together quite often, and it's pretty cool. A lot of the guys still live in this area or within a reasonable distance, and so not only do we hang out, but we hang out with the families. Obviously, you've seen a lot of our kids have had some success here as of late, so it's been a great time for us, great relationship, and that's really, like David said, is what helped us be successful.
Excuse me. When you lost in St. Pete in '99, was that where this dream was born, or did it become before that?
For me, I would say yes. It was kind of sparked at that moment. We made that run to the Final Four, and I think we had aspirations of going pretty far that year for sure. After losing, we were kicking ourselves for losing and not taking it further. And so I think we were pretty driven that summer to really. We had one goal in our mind was to get to the national championship and win it all, and that's kind of how it went for us.
Forgive me, fellas.
Yes.
That team won 31 games in '99, didn't it?
That's how much we won? Wow, yeah, it was a special unit. And like I said, it's built on the backs of Antonio Smith, Thomas Kelly, like a lot of those guys, Jason Klein, DeJuan Wiley, guys who it was a shame that, you know, couldn't win that championship with us in 2000. But it was a special time. Like Andre said, that St. Pete Final Four, it was a taste for us, like, oh, we can do this. And not can we only do it, we can win it all. Yeah. And as soon as we got back, it was, you know, go time, and everybody was focused on that one common goal.
The games I remember, because I was living and working in Detroit at the time, were at the Palace. Two of the great basketball games I can remember against Syracuse and Iowa State. And Izzo loves it because Michigan State took over the state that weekend, didn't they?
Yeah, we did. That Auburn Hills was pretty green that day, and it was pretty nice. It was special. We found ourselves in some tough positions in both of those games, and you know, we were very dedicated to each other that year and trusted each other. Never really got too worried, but having that crowd behind us, those two games was a huge difference maker for us.
He's being modest, but that was definitely Andre's. You know, that was his championship. It was all of our championship. Andre played a hell of a game that night, and as did Mopeet, Mateen. You know, big time plays, and really got that place rocking. But we saw that as, you know, potentially that was the national championship because that Iowa State team was so darn tough.
If I'm recalling, because I sat down with Mike Garland for this show, he was telling, wasn't that the game where Mateen was trying to call a play in the huddle? They didn't call his play, and the play that Izzo designed was to you, wasn't it?
Well, I don't remember all the details.
Oh, okay.
Coach G is pretty good at those details. All I know, if I got to play, I was ready for it for sure. I mean, I didn't get a ton called my way, but that was a big weekend for me in general. The Syracuse and Iowa State game, Iowa State particularly, I had a chance to really step up on the defensive end and take on a very challenging task and guard Marcus Fizer, and that kind of led to me playing well on the offensive side too. So, but it wasn't just me. We had so many guys playing well that whole weekend. My team made plays. Mopeet, AJ Granger was was huge for us. Charlie was always great, you know, DT and Mike and Jay Rich. I mean, we had a roster very similar to this year's team, where I don't know if this team is as talented as we were, but they're definitely as deep or deeper for sure.
Well, Mateen was the glue, but you guys had some players, right?
Absolutely, and you know, to start that year, Mateen went down. So Charlie, you know, stepped up, played point. I played point, and it was just us filling a role, you know. And we were very deep. You know, practices were way tougher than the games. The likes of, you know, Brandon Smith, Matt Ishbia, myself, Mike Chappelle on the green team. I can't remember if we were green or white. I can't remember who the starters were, but you know, practices were way harder for us than the games, and that helped lead us to a championship.
Yeah. Well, there is an ingredient to that team that's special than any champions have, Andre, and this team was close before they started winning, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were. Even before I got here, you know, David was here with Mateen, and like you said, Antonio, Thomas Kelly, DeJuan Wiley. Those guys have been through some tough times, you know what I mean? And when you go through tough times and you can stick together in those moments, it really takes you to a different place. And you know, I learned a lot my freshman year from those guys, just hearing some of the stories and some of the things that they were going through. And then getting to experience it myself, you know, my freshman year, because we didn't start off hot that year. I think we were like 4-3 to start the season, but we kind of got things turned around and had a really great Big Ten season that year. And the next year we were able to make it to the Final Four. But yeah, it took time. It didn't happen overnight. I mean, we had to go through some trials, and we stuck together through the whole process, and that's what made it so sweet when we were able to win at the end.
You're from Ohio. You're from Canada. 25 years later, your lives and your home still here. Your family's raised here. Why is that?
It's a special place here. You know, it's the reason why Andre and I selected Michigan State of all the other schools that we could have went to is we just felt that there's this bond, there's a special connection with Michigan State, East Lansing in general. So, and we both met our wives here on campus, who happen to be sisters, so we're actually brother-in-laws too. And you know, our children have grown up here, play for East Lansing, who just won championship last weekend, and it's a special feeling. The next generation is gonna take it and run with it. So it's just, I don't know, this place has an aura, something about it that, you know, you just can't get away from.
During that championship game, Mateen runs into Teddy DePay, limps off the floor. He might have broke something, if I recall. But he kind of limped back out like Willis Reed back in the 70s. And did you know when he came back out you were going to win that game?
I kind of knew we were going to win that game when he first went out. Mike Chappelle came in and hit that big shot. I mean, when we went it.
That's right. That's right. I've been there. Go ahead.
Excuse me.
Just start over. Go ahead.
What was I forgot what your question was.
You kind of knew what they were going to win.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, when Mateen first went out, Mike Chappelle came in and hit that big shot. I knew we had a good chance of winning that game. I mean, Coach Izzo drew up a play that we had ran many times, and we all felt comfortable. And I think we just all kind of knew like we had to rally around this opportunity. Mateen had been out earlier in the year, and guys like David and other guys have really stepped up, and we knew that we can rally behind that. And at this moment, it was Mike Chappelle who had made a big shot. And when he made that shot, I mean, the arena went crazy. The emotion in the team just went to another level, and I knew we were going to win. Now, when Mateen came out, it was funny because we were playing engaged in the game, but all I hear is a big roar, and it's like in the middle of play, and I'm looking around like, what's going on here? And all of a sudden, like you say, you see him come limping out. I'm like, oh, yeah, let's go. my dog's back, so let's go.
And then the celebration afterward. What do you remember about that?
Just the time with our families. You know, as you see the emotions on all our faces, it's for us, but it was also for all, like our families still get together. You know, Andre's mom and my mom were just here this weekend. All the parents, when we have reunions, those that are, you know, still with us, they all come to it as well. So it was just a great time to spend with our family, our siblings, you know, all those people who helped make us possible and support us over the time. And then our brothers, you know, that locker room was crazy. Then we got a call from, then Bill Clinton called, locker room too, you know, president called. And so it was just a surreal feeling, like, man, we actually did it. And to know, and then also a relief, you know, because we wanted it so bad, and now to kind of take that breath and say, you know, we've done it, which it didn't really kick in until weeks, months, years later that, man, we're the best in the country.
Speaking of family, Michigan State has an extended family. Steve Smith was there that night. Magic was there. Of course, Antonio, who had played the year before, was there. I mean, that was a special memory too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was one thing that was cool about coming here to Michigan State is those guys used to come back all the time in the summer when we played. And so, like David said, they were a part of our family. Like we wanted to celebrate with everybody, not just our own family, but the Spartan Nation family. I mean, that was there. We had so many people that, you know, and I've learned this as a parent watching my own kids. Like when you get thrusted into a team and you're following them on their championship run, you feel just as much as part of that run as the players do. And you know, guys like Magic and Steve Smith, Tone. I mean, Tone might have been in the huddle the last timeout call for that matter. But I mean, it was nice just seeing all those people back there with us and having that opportunity to celebrate with our community, not just us.
Widen up the shot a minute, Zach. If you guys look behind you here, I didn't know this until yesterday. This is the floor that you won the championship on. Great memories there too, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we won a lot of games on that floor. I think last game I lost on there was probably early in my freshman year, and we didn't lose one cent. So that floor was pretty special, and I think I have a piece of it at my house. I'm sure you do too. I think I just signed a few pieces yesterday for you of that floor. So that floor is all over the place, but it's very, very memorable. We had so many great memories there for sure.
It's a lifetime memory, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and that floor could talk. Ooh, they have some good stories. That's who you need to be interviewing.
Right.
That's some great stories.